Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is no doubt that we're living in really interesting times. So interesting that we can even see lawyers talking about AI in conferences. So, so what is AI? Definitely a huge trend. But it's much more than that. Sentient machines are not a recent concept. Mankind has been contemplating with it for almost a century now. It was popularized by science fiction, novels, comics, TV series, films such as Space Odyssey or Matrix. These fictional attempts to foresee AI became very popular exactly because they strike our existential chords. Can humanity create a machine that one day will outperform us or even replace us? It's only been in the last 30 years or so that science fiction has become science reality. In 1997, chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov was beaten by IBM's Deep Blue. Since then, AI has been gradually and quietly introduced in our everyday lives. Autocorrect, Google Translate, self-driven cars, Hey Siri, so much more. Lately, however, artificial intelligence made a buzz. The new advanced generative AI tools such as ChatGPT raised admiration, but they also raised a question. Is AI a friend or a foe? Well, that's the case, and that's where lawyers come in. So, what's the relationship between AI and lawyers? Historically, our industry has been slow to adapt new technologies. But top law firms rode the AI wave first, and then most lawyers followed, of course. Nowadays, lawyers can choose from a wide palette of AI tools specifically designed for their needs. Contract drafting, new due diligence, legal research, billing, and so much more. AI has been helping us with all that. And it has sometimes achieved human performance. For instance, as you may know, ChatGPT was able to pass simulated bar exams, scoring at the bottom 10%, and the latest iteration, GPT-4, scored at the top 10%. Definitely a fast learner. Still, the friend or foe question remains unanswered. It's a question that bothers all industries, and it's one that only we humans, and in our case lawyers, can answer. There's no denying that AI is reshaping the legal industry as we speak. It has already proven its potential in a multitude of ways. AI improves efficiency and saves time by automating routine processes. Lawyers can focus on other higher value tasks, such as preparing for court or preparing a special legal strategy. AI provides valuable legal insights by quickly filtering vast amounts of legal literature. AI reduces costs. Less man-hours are needed for more tasks. AI reviews large volumes of electronic documents for discovery litigation faster and more accurately. AI enhances contract analysis by reviewing contracts, extracting key terms, ensuring contract compliance, and so much more. Last but not least, AI is always on. Chatbots, virtual assistants, providing clients with basic legal information any time of day or night. And there's even more. AI helps build more effective legal strategies by providing data-driven recommendations. AI can analyze historical case data and predict case outcomes, helping lawyers and clients make more informed decisions. AI can reduce human bias, leading to fairer outcomes in some cases. And ultimately, AI systems are easily scalable, allowing for increasing workload without significant overhead. In other words, lawyers that embrace generative AI tech tools are able to better streamline processes and focus on what matters most: the best possible outcome for their clients. From what we've heard so far, one might think that the legal industry and AI are on some kind of honeymoon phase. However, a closer look rather busts the fairy tale, because there are issues, many and valid. For instance, can we leave AI do the legal work unmonitored? What if its decisions are not merely based on ethical and legal principles? What if it develops its own biases? Then there is accountability. AI can make errors, but it cannot be legally responsible. You cannot scold an algorithm. You cannot sue it for malpractice. Actual persons that use the tools are those who should be held responsible for its mistakes. Last, but far from least, is what we call depersonalization. Over-reliance on AI could remove human contact from legal services. However, people will always need, at the end of the day, an actual person, a human attorney who will provide them with custom and bespoke advice. Besides the concerns just mentioned, which are mostly ethical and philosophical, there are also practical challenges and disadvantages. AI is not a free ride. Implementing AI systems can have a high initial cost. Integration issues. Integrating AI in an already working flow, a legal workflow, can be a very time-consuming and complex task. Data privacy and security. What are we doing with, what can we do with our clients' personal data? The machine is hungry for data. It needs real data. But can we feed the machine with our clients' sensitive legal information and personal data? What if there is a leak? What if the machine is hacked? Implications can be very, very serious. AI has advantages and disadvantages, as it happens with any tool, as it happens with almost everything in life. But then, what will help us reach a verdict? What will tip the scale? So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to present new, compelling evidence. Evidence that proves that AI is not human, of course. However, I have to tell you that there is strong evidence that lawyers are humans. And there are some things that human lawyers can do and AI can't. Client counseling. When we lawyers counsel a client, we're not just conveying legal information to the client. We are tailoring it to client's situation. We address clients' intentions, worries, concerns. We're trying to ensure that their testimony will not harm their interests. So far, AI cannot provide that level of guidance and service. Legal strategy. We've previously seen AI's lack of bias as a strength. However, it can also be a weakness. It's paramount for us lawyers to understand the dynamics, the personalities of the opposing parties, of the judge, of the jury. This is something that AI cannot do. Subjectivity and nuance. Many cases, most cases, are characterized by nuanced details and subjective interpretations. Besides, laws are not always clear-cut. We use our expertise and experience in order to navigate these nuances, while AI may struggle, of course, to do so. To build a stronger case, I will now present to the jury the two most important instances where AI fails to be human. AI lacks human judgment and has limited contextual understanding. We lawyers often use several obscure terms, the so-called legalese. Take the word consideration, for instance. Consideration in the fields of contract law refers to something of value being exchanged between the parties. However, in criminal law, it refers to the intent, to mental state behind a person's actions. Can AI tell the difference? Often not. I'm sure that all of you have been using Google Translate, for instance, for trivial everyday tasks. For instance, when you want to have a discussion with a taxi driver when traveling abroad, or trivial issues, everyday issues. However, would you translate, would you depend on it to translate your billion-dollar merger from Swedish to French? I don't think so. AI also lacks the capability to recognize and respond to emotional cues. AI systems excel at processing large amounts of data and patterns. However, they can struggle with grasping the real text, the real matter of a legal case. On the other hand, lawyers use deep analytical and critical thinking in order to address clients' emotions, clients' motivation. They use their emotional intelligence in order to empathize with their clients, and in that way, they address and they give their clients the best possible services. At this point, I would like to call myself to the stand and contribute a simple testimony. One day, I tested the capabilities of ChatGPT in a routine legal issue regarding commercial leases in Greece. Specifically, I asked the machine about the validity of the parties' agreement upon a duration shorter than the ex lege minimum one. And this is the answer that I got. Indeed, ChatGPT made a big mistake here. The respective law, first of all, is not this one, but the Presidential Decree 34 of 1975. But apart from that, such an agreement cannot be valid. That's a norm. Unless made in written with a separate posterior agreement bearing the verification of both party signatures by a public authority. However, and to be fair with AI, ChatGPT also provided the right guidance. Ask an expert. It shows both the limitations of the technology, but also its capabilities when used responsibly. AI should not be seen as a digital impersonation of evil. It can revolutionize our industry, but it should be approached with caution. AI can be both a friend and a foe. It's up to us to decide. The writing on the wall is clear. AI is here to stay in the legal profession, and not only, of course. So, it's time for the verdict. Don't worry, nobody needs to rise. Businesses should adopt the mindset that AI is there to supplement their attorney's role, not to replace them. On the other hand, attorneys should understand that they have to embrace AI tools and they shouldn't shy away from them in order to future-proof their work. However, it's always critical to utilize technology in a responsible and cautious way and securing clients' interests. AI presents a significant opportunity, yet the essential role of human lawyers in providing contextually aware, bespoke, and personalized advice is irreplaceable. To sum up in one phrase, AI won't replace lawyers. However, lawyers who use AI will replace those who don't. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bekas, for such a thorough look at AI. and its potential threats and opportunities, you really tear down at least one bias, that lawyers are highly bureaucratic and technology-averse people, right? So thank you so much.